My name's Josh. I'm the founder of a digital marketing agency, and I give Harvest a 5 out of 5. Prior to using Harvest, there were a few solutions that I used. The first of which, the first solution that I've tried prior to Harvest was a software. Well, actually, it was Excel spreadsheets. I used Excel spreadsheets to track my time, and obviously that was not very effective. It wasn't very. There were no functions. It was very manual. After using Excel spreadsheets, I moved to a solution called T-Sheets. T-Sheets is a competitor to Harvest, and T-Sheets was good for managing time. What it was not good for was not it was not good at measuring or sending out invoices based on my time, or segmenting my time based on project. The reasons I chose Harvest as my time management and invoicing software is multifold. So first of all, I found Harvest to be very slick and easy to use. Not only does it have a very nice desktop app, but the mobile app for my iPhone works exceptionally well. Also, if I needed to ever log into a browser on my desktop, it functioned very well. Things function very similarly between my app on my iPhone and the desktop app, which I thought was very nice. Also, I thought there was a nice desktop extension that I could use on my Mac, which allowed me to quickly start the timer when I was timing my time on a particular project and stopping it. I didn't even have to open the app. I could just do that all from the extension. The final two reasons I thought Harvest was a really good solution, and the reason I selected Harvest as my time management and invoicing solution were, first of all, that I had a payment integration capability. So I was able to not only invoice from Harvest, but I also was able to receive payment electronically through Harvest, which I thought was a huge perk, and it worked very, very well. My clients never had to be taught how to use it. It was very easy to use and very intuitive. The other thing I would say, which was a very appealing to Harvest and helped me select Harvest, is as I was researching Harvest, I found that there was a lot of online answers and support that you could find online. Like, I never even had to chat with someone to ask questions about how Harvest was going to work or how it would work. I was able to find all my answers online, which was a huge perk. The onboarding process for Harvest was extremely simple. I think it probably took me less than an hour to get all set up. Some of the steps that I took is I had multiple projects that I wanted to track and invoice from within Harvest. So I had to set up the projects. That probably took me 15 minutes. Then I had to add all my customers to Harvest so that when it came to invoicing my clients, I would have all the information in there and could connect each particular invoice to the client and get it to the right customer via email or otherwise via link. And so that was the second part, was adding my customers. That was probably another 10 to 15 minutes. Third was adding financial metrics, how much each project was, how much I was earning per project, what my costs were per project. Inputting all of that into Harvest was a critical step, I think, because then my invoices would be accurate and I would have a good measurement of how my time was being spent. Finally was just starting tracking. So I think within an hour, I started using the tracking capabilities of the software, and I had everything in there that I needed to be able to track my projects, send out invoices, and so on. The other step that I failed to mention, I guess initially, was for me, I wanted to electronically receive payment from my clients. So setting up and connecting my bank information to Harvest, which would allow me to receive wireless payments, that probably took me 15 to 30 minutes, I would say. And I ran into a little bit of a problem just making sure that my bank authenticated Harvest as being the correct app that I was giving permission to. So that took a little bit more time than usual. It's probably usually like a 15-minute or under job, but it took me 30 minutes, which I'd say is on the upper end of what it would take. If you're thinking about selecting Harvest or looking for a time management and invoicing software, there are a few things that I would recommend based on the experience that I had. One would be very thoughtful about the number of users that you're going to put on the platform. The price ranges that I saw were anywhere from $8 to $12 per user, and that it's a $4 difference per month, which isn't a lot of money, but if you've got a lot of users, that can add up. And typically, you might get more features for the higher end price point. However, users is the big multiplier that you really need to consider as you're looking at solutions and making sure that you stay within a budget that's appropriate for what you're looking to do. The other one I would say is, do you need a solution that's online? Do you need to be able to use your iPhone app? Do you need to be able to use your desktop app? Or is it going to be a little bit more traditional in the sense that you're just going to use kiosks to track your time? I think that's a key question, because as I was looking for different solutions, in my case, I needed a solution that I could use my iPhone app and my desktop laptop computers for. I did not need anything physical, so I went with Harvest. If I were to go with another solution, then I would maybe look at T-Sheets or some of those other solutions that actually can provide you physical kiosk type entry for more traditional kind of time clocking situations. The other thing I'd say is be mindful of your financial software that you use. So when I started using Harvest, I actually was not really using a mainstream financial tracking solution. I had just launched my business and didn't have that need. About halfway through, I switched to QuickBooks, and I was very fortunate that Harvest implemented really nicely with QuickBooks, but I could have seen that becoming a problem had it not. So just being mindful of what financial software you use, because a lot of times your time tracking software and your invoicing software needs to be very integrated with whatever financial solution software you're using, like QuickBooks. Finally, I think just being very conscious of what types of robustness you need on your feature set. I know a lot of people that only need a time tracking software. You can get a much more inexpensive tool for that. However, if you need any other further additional uses, like being able to track multiple projects, being able to invoice, being able to track vacation, overtime, things like that, those are very much things you want to consider as you're selecting your tool. And that would very much sway whether I would recommend Harvest or another tool based on my experience.